State your name.
Howdy, I'm Dwight Fellah, the Caucasian persuasion, haha, hip-hop sensation. Combining comedy with hip-hop, so you know I got the punchlines.
What inspired you to step into the comedy scene?
Well, I did music first, and then my best friend was one of the funniest people I've ever met, but he had stage fright, and so I didn't have stage fright. First time I ever performed was like a buyer show, you know, where you got to pay to play, and I got second place, and I brought everybody out to it, and I don't know if you're familiar with the old 25 Live, but that was a strip club. I didn't know that. I was like 21, and I invited my mom and all my friends, and if you think like a porno movie, or like, not a porno, but a sex scene in a movie is weird with your mom, a stripper on stage with your mom in the audience was really weird. But the first time I ever performed, 21, in a strip club in front of my mom. So I don't have stage fright. And so my friend, in order to get him on stage, I said, you just follow me and I'll be bad at it. And turned out I'm pretty funny, so I really liked it ever since then. I went up there and he went after, and we were doing comedy for like 5 years, and then he kind of quit. But I just, you know, you're born for something, you do it. So.
All right. Well, so what do you think was your inspiration as far as how you build your sets?
I don't know. I like one-liner comics. I like, you know, Mitch Hedberg's really funny. You know, R.I.P. to him. But like people that just like real quick, like just simple. Like one of my favorite jokes I do, you know, if you see it here, you might see it later. But if I ever got AIDS, I'd stay positive about it. You know, it's just like observational, but just kind of, you got to think a little bit, you know. You don't have a choice, you know. You test positive.
So have you ever had a heckler? How did you handle that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I've had plenty of hecklers. I deal with them just with staying calm and remembering I'm the funny one. And I also have a microphone. It's really hard and rare for a heckler to win when you have a microphone in front of the crowd. I mean, as long as you're not up there completely like bombing, which I've done that too. My worst bomb ever was a 70-year-old's birthday party, and I did great for 4 minutes, but I was up there for 7. And they went, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. And that was definitely, that was my best, worst bomb ever, because it's hilarious now. But yeah, that was early on. I got sung off stage.
How would you describe your creative process?
I don't know. I guess spiritual in a sense, because I burned the bush, you know what I mean? And so when I burn the bush, I just come up with ideas, and I just I try and write everything down, because you know I don't have the best memory, but if I write it down and I can read it, then you can learn to perfect it. You know, I mean, it is fun when you make comedy in the moment, and that tends to happen. And I believe if you're funny, you're funny. It's very like cringy to watch anybody who is not funny try to be funny. That's like the worst. So you're either funny or you're not funny either. You know, and luckily for me, I was funny looking, grew to personality, and then kind of grew into my look. So, you know, I did it backwards. So that's why I have a funny, you know, it's been like a defense mechanism too. So before I learned how to do push-ups, I knew how to tell jokes, you know.
All right, we're loving the mustache. Where did that come from?
Actually, the truth is, I'm not gonna tell you what I tell because it's a part of my jokes, but one of my bartender friends was like, I wonder if you make more money if you curled your mustache. And I was like, I don't know, maybe, you know. I was like, I'll try it. And I tried it, and yeah, you know, now it's like I don't have a personality. People are just like, look, the mustache guy, look at him. I'm like, ladies, eyes up here, you know. I understand, you know, I'm more than just a mustache. But, you know, it's become a part of me, like my whole brand, so I like it, you know. Plus, sometimes I look like I'm homeless, but if you curl your mustache, you know, people know, like, when have you ever seen a homeless person with a curly mustache? Never, you know. This is kind of the define, like, hey, he has it a little bit together.
All right. And if you had to roast yourself, what would you say?
I'm too good at being awesome, you know. My worst flaw is I'm just great at everything. So it would be hard to roast myself. No, I'm just kidding. I treat money like I hate it because I get rid of it as soon as I touch it. It's awful, you know. But yeah, also I look like I listen to Jimmy Buffett and drink margaritas on the beach when I don't pay my rent. You know what I mean? Like I'm driving a girlfriend's car. That's what I look like. You know, probably an accident. She's probably reported it still at this point. No.
Okay.
I'm Dwight Fellah, and this is Laugh Like Crazy.